Yes.
So we're starting a live stream with a new setting. If you can hear us, let us know. So we can move on.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. If you can hear us, also let us know. And
Come a bit this way so that we're more in the center. Yeah.
okay.
Hey, this is the start of something new. This is the start of something magical. This is the start of something new. This is the start of something true.
Yeah.
All right. As you can see, we have a topic today that has to do with technology and spirituality. And the title may sound a bit like we're comparing this versus that. And in a way we are, because there's something interesting happening in the world where it's almost like technology is becoming this replacement for what we might call the spirit or spiritual evolution or pursuit. And meanwhile, of course, technology is amazing. Like, we are able to do this live stream because of technology. There's nothing bad or evil or wrong about technology itself. And due to technology, we're able to live nowadays probably more comfortable than kings lived even 200 years ago. And that's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
And it gives us this advantage of potentially having the time and being able to do things that we love. Ideally. Of course, this is not the case for all human beings.
Okay. It's working now for sure. I was just not sure about the sound, but it turned out that it's connected to our headphones. So, yeah, I guess you can hear us. Just confirm to us if you can hear us well. And yeah, we got a lot to share today because this topic of ChatGPT and artificial intelligence and all this hype around how technology can replace, like, all the information in the mainstream is all about, like, oh, they're gonna replace your job, but like very few people are talking about how that affect our spiritual growth and spiritual awakening. Yeah, so I want to address this in the video today, and yeah, we'd love to have it also interactive. So if you like to say hi, share with us where are you watching us from, and we'd love to have more interaction with you, get to know you a little bit more, and hear your feedback as well.
Do you think they heard me talking about
Yes,
living
yes,
like...
yeah.
Okay. So I see this very interesting, almost obsession in mainstream culture and larger society towards technology. And it's like, we're at the point where you can have like a supercomputer in your pocket and have all the comforts of the world. And yet there is still this obsession towards the next thing, next technological development. And it's like, sometimes I'm wondering, but where are we going with that? Like, where are you going? Like, what are you trying to achieve?
Yeah, and this is where the title comes from. Seriously, guys, like, when I look how much people are so wanting the artificial intelligence or technology to give them answers, is just such a weird obsession that I'm a bit like worried and concerned about it.
And also this, like, entertain me.
Yeah.
Like, I need my phone, I need the most advanced level of entertainment. And what does that mean, actually, entertainment for us? It's something like, help me disconnect from life, actually. That's what I see it being nowadays with, how we get absorbed into social media or our phones, and then now quite newly virtual reality.
And artificial intelligence and everything. I want to check again the audio, so you can maybe continue and I will give it a try to see
Okay.
if it's working well.
Yeah, so how I see that technology might actually hinder spiritual awakening or our evolution as human species is where we all our energy and resources and focus is going towards creating more and more technological advancement and then absorbing ourselves completely in that. And there is very little space actually for inner development, for inner work in this reality. And it's definitely not advertised or promoted. There is a really great imbalance actually, what I'm seeing. And the way that we're kind of saying that technology could in a way replace almost spiritual evolution is that it's interesting how like the similarities that we see, for example, when we begin to awake spiritually, there is this realization of everything being interconnected. And then we have here the internet, which is the internet of, or the, what is the internet of all things?
Internet of Things.
Yeah.
So where devices are all interconnected together and they are like communicating with each other. So it feels like the technology that we are creating is an expression of what our potential is, and we are what we are unable to manifest or tap into at this time.
Yeah.
And also now recently with the GPT chatbot, it feels like it's trying to replace the Akashic record. It's can give you answer of everything. You can ask anything and it will try to give you an answer. And it's really crazy because I'm noticing after playing with it for some time that it's not as it looked like. The answer that's given and the way it's leading humanity is really dark. We're gonna share about this later in the video.
Yeah, so even that, what Ram is talking about, I don't know if all of you know this AI chat machine where you can basically, it's kind of like replacing the search engine in a way, except that it gives you only one answer. And it disconnects you actually from the source of the information. Like at least now, even if the research engines might be manipulated and biased, at least you have many results. And when you go to those results, you can see the source of it. But with the chat bot, it's basically like a god just like giving you one answer. This is the answer, and I'm the source of it.
Although it masqueraded as like, oh, I'm just a chatbot to give you some, to make your life easy.
It's literally like almost like replacing the notion of God or inner guidance even. Like we no longer ask inside of ourselves for information to come through, or for the intuition, what is the answer? You know, it's just this, you can just type something and get an instant answer. That's quite addictive actually.
Yeah, and the crazy thing or crazy potential that I see about it, and now since so many people went crazy wanting to use it, I think it reached like 5 million users within the first week. So hearing how much people are excited on YouTube, just if you search, like it's really crazy. I see that in the near future, people wanting to connect their brain to this machine so they can get like faster search result, more data, learning language, learning skills very quickly, which can be very tempting. And also I saw many reports how easy it can create essay and how it can make student life much easier. So I can see how it would replace the authentic traditional way of doing research, and it can be really dangerous, and it's really dangerous when it is in the hand of the people who doesn't have the best interest of humanity, which is the case now, knowing that Microsoft is controlling it.
Right, because I mean it is operating based on how it is programmed. Right, like there is an algorithm behind it.
And the information that was fed to the machine.
Right. So again, this kind of like wanting to merge with the machine is almost like denying humanness, saying I don't want to be human. I want to like be superhuman. I want to be godlike. You know, I want to have access to everything instantaneously. I want to learn everything instantaneously. It's like wanting to skip the humanness, which is in a very, in my opinion, beautiful way, imperfect.
Yeah. And it's not possible to be this interconnected being that we meant to be. It feels like the way we are manifesting it with technology is just like looking for answer outside, looking for external entertainment or external pathways rather than going within and trying to connect. Like, for example, in our dreams, we have amazing potential to go to other dimensions, to explore other realities. Yeah.
Right, and in this we are kind of like trying to get to other dimensions and realities through virtual reality. And what if humans truly
Mm.
knew that they can actually go to other dimensions
Yeah.
with their consciousness? But this is the thing, the technology provides the easy answer for most of us because we're not the ones developing it even.
Yeah.
We just get the product
Mm-hmm.
and we don't have to do any of the hard work of actually looking inside and seeing what is it that is blocking me from accessing those gifts with our which are actually very much in our reach, and this is what we're going towards. And this is where I see also the splitting of humanity into two. There is those who, let's say, worship the false god of technology, in yeah, and kind of like going towards the transhumanism, trying to skip the work, the
Mm-hmm.
spiritual work actually, living maybe in smart cities, um, combining their physical body with technology. And then there are those who recognize what is happening and say, you know what, I'm gonna do the inner work,
Mm.
and I'm gonna develop my senses from inside out. I'm
Yeah.
gonna develop my psychic senses.
Yeah, and connecting with the plants, connecting with medicinal plant as well, that can give you a lot of those knowledge and a lot of those experience in your own inner journeys, like ayahuasca, for example, which we have experienced it recently, and it was a magical, beautiful experience where I connected to the Akashic record, and I was able to have any question answered. So I feel for us, it's what we're seeing now. It's a calling to really ask ourselves, like, are we gonna give all our power to this big tech technology, to and be dependent on it, or are we gonna go back to our instinct and then find our path?
Yeah, exactly. And here also, like I can speak from my own experience, how along my path I've learned to channel, for example, which is tapping into information, tapping into, for example, the emotions of other people, getting information, and through, I wouldn't call it telepathy, maybe it's empathy, but I do actually think that we have the potential to communicate telepathically. So, but instead, we don't even need to have any need to develop that in a way, because we have internet. You can contact anybody almost
Hmm.
through internet instantaneously. So in a way, it's this fast track thing where you kind of get the same result, except you don't, and you don't have any need to develop the capacity for telepathy.
Whew.
Graceful Heart is saying two groups of people to transcend or ascend. Are you still here, Graceful Heart? We transcend humanity to transhumanism, or ascend. Maybe that's what
Yeah,
she's referring to.
I guess so.
Yeah.
Yeah, and it also, we don't mean that you don't need to use those tools if you need it, and if it plays a positive impact in your life, if it has any positive impact, you can use it, but don't get dependent on it. And I could see, just experimenting with GPT chatbot, I tried to ask it about the natural law, which is the topic that we are very fascinated about. And for those of you who research this topic, you might have come across Mark Passio, who is one of the most vocal person about it. And when we asked the chatbot to give us resources and information, and where we can find more information, it kept giving me more and more and more results, hundreds of pages, and it never mentioned Mark. And I was like wondering, that's weird. He's like one of the most like known researcher on this. And then I asked the bot, how about Mark Passio? And then it says, it's not, he's not academic, and he had a lot of negative criticism. And those of you who have researched the natural law know that the entities that are in power, that don't want humanity to awaken, already shadow ban many people, many truth speaker who speak against it, and it happened that Mark Bosio is one of them. So what I'm trying to reach, that the result that the chatbot is giving you is filtering out so many truth that's important for humanity to understand the full picture. So if we're depending on those machines learning and those technology, we will reach a point where everything on the internet is generated by this machine and not really giving the reality of what's going on in the world. And I can see this is one of the most scary potential that we have, especially knowing now how much people are basing their work and researches on those artificial
Mm-hmm.
intelligence algorithm.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
It's a way of completely manipulating people's viewpoint
Mm-hmm.
on any topic, and and also funneling to people what someone who someone in power wants them to see and wants them to research and wants them to like the results they want us to see
Yeah.
completely way more than in the search engines right now.
Yeah. There's I see there's another level of information control.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And and this is just a small portion of the kind of like what is being planned for, I guess, for 2030 in terms of 15-minute cities and smart cities.
Hmm.
And this is
Oh, this is so scary.
yeah, you know more about it than I do actually.
Yeah.
Well, so yeah, so this is basically again where we are given this idea of a comfortable life.
Hmm.
Like, how comfortable does it need to get, guys? And what are
Yeah.
we willing to give up for that comfort? Like, what am I willing to sacrifice to have any kind of food in the world available to me within minutes?
Yeah. And the way I see it also is how this information is being delivered for us as, oh, this is evolution, this is how good for humanity. We hear so many from the mainstream media, so many good things about the 15-minute city, for example. It's just like an expression of a horror movie, where if you've seen the movie In Time, that's exactly what those like agenda is about, putting us in so many container and categories, so we're not interconnected being. And I see also the counter movement in creating eco villages and community, and this is what our also channel is about. So we want to have this alternative life not only for us, but for people who resonate with the new earth, with the new story, with the new vibration that the earth is tapping into.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Yeah, and the funny thing is, like, the 15-minute cities, it's kind of like how people used to live in villages a little bit, in the sense that you had the things close by,
Mm.
like you didn't need to travel or commute to get to a bakery or to, I don't know, like the shoemaker or whatever. So this is kind of like what we can also imagine in eco villages, where we have these smaller units of coexistence.
Mm-hmm. Where people know each other, they have built trust among each other. There's a shared vision, shared values, and from there, there's a way better opportunities for growth and really awakening together. Yeah, and also to do that, we need to be connected with our own life mission on Earth. Why we are here on Earth, why we choose to come to this region, to this place, to this body, to choose this family. And here where we also are offering our gift in that, we are hosting an online workshop and a group session about how you can connect to your inner purpose.
Yes.
Yeah.
And why I think is one of the biggest reasons actually why we are choosing collectively this path of technology and comfort is actually avoidance of pain and avoidance of discomfort, avoidance of challenge. We don't want to be challenged in any way. We don't want to face pain,
Mm.
which is why we don't want to face the emotions that we have inside. We need to distract, which is why we don't want to, for example, grow our own food. Well, some people do, we like that, but there is that threshold of, oh, I need to get my hands dirty, I need to learn a new skill, I need to do physical work, so that can feel uncomfortable.
Mm-hmm.
But because we don't want to face pain, discomfort, going out of the comfort zone, we are giving ourselves up completely. We are sacrificing like our own creativity, joy of living, co-creation, our own spiritual evolution actually.
Yeah.
The price is huge.
Mm-hmm. Do you want to share more about our group session?
Oh yes, we are doing a group healing session this coming Thursday, and it's about life purpose activation. So what we do is in the beginning we first tune into the group vibration and energy and see what it is that we have in common, what is bringing us together in that session in terms of what might be blocking us from living an inspired life where we are actually, taking action towards something meaningful. And then we also allow space for individuals to share, and we are both in a way with guiding questions and mirroring and coaching, helping each of the participants to see what is like for them something they need to work on and help them shift their vibration.
Yeah, so basically clearing what's the layers of maybe blockages, the layer of discomfort that hold us back from tapping into this new energy. So we will do that and much more. So if you are interested, check it out. It's a affordable cost, and we take small groups, so we will have more opportunity to interact with us, and we'd love to have you in our online community as well. Yeah.
Yes.
So we're gonna post the link in the chat after the video.
Yeah. So I kind of see that we're at the fork of a path, and that one path is this transhumanism, smart cities, which is like we are all living in these virtual realities and like boxes, like apartment building boxes, which is in a way ultimate alienation actually from Earth, from our spiritual connection, and from each other, from the tribe. Alienation from life. And this is actually what creates depression. This is what creates suicidal, like makes people suicidal. What makes us so unhappy is actually alienation from the context. What is the context to which we come here? Why am I here? What am I part of?
Yeah.
In terms of like being part of an ecosystem, being part of a tribe, being part of a human race that has a purpose. It's not only that we all have like our own unique, super specialized individual purpose, it's all tied together. We have a collective purpose as well.
That's what makes life so exciting actually.
Yeah. And then we have the other part of the fork, which is the path of connectedness. And this is the path that we haven't really walked yet as humanity, at least not in thousands of years. And this is a bit rough path that we need to pave and see what it means. We need to relearn what it means to live a connected life, connected to the context of why am I here? What's my role as a human being in this ecosystem? What's my role as a member of the human family? So that's the choice we all need to make.
And I guess many of you who are watching us already made your choice, to be new Earthlings, and we are happy to have you here. And it's a great opportunity to grow our community online, and and hopefully see some of you in person at some point when we are doing in-person event as well.
Yes.
Yeah.
And I want to just say to all of you that it doesn't mean that technology is evil. It's about what do we prioritize in our lives. If we could have all the technology serving life and human well-being.
That would be so amazing.
If we would always ask, how can we serve life the best way and create the most amount of well-being, and then we would employ all the technology towards that instead of profits, or instead of growing some business just for growing it. That would be amazing. So
Yeah, and if you have any questions about this topic, if you agree, if you disagree, especially those of you who disagree with us, I would love to have a conversation with you. So please share your thoughts with us, and yeah, what you think about this craziness that's happening in the world.
Yes, and you
Yeah.
know, it starts with the small ways in our own lives. It doesn't mean like, oh, we need to make some massive jump. It's more
Mm.
about how can I choose life in the smallest of ways in every day. And when we start practicing that, choosing life and connection, for example, choosing connection in our partnerships means that I don't walk away when there is conflict.
Mm.
It means internally that I'm connected to my emotions. That's where it starts, really.
Yeah.
If I feel that something is off, if I feel upset and I ignore that, I'm not living in a connected way. We must start connection
Mm-hmm.
from within, that I'm connected to what's happening in me, and then from that place I can share that with the people that are around me, and I can commit to connection between us.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. So anything else?
Yeah,
Will
if you have any questions, you can write it. Now it's time to write your questions.
I have a question.
Okay.
Will AI replace God?
I think for those who decide to stay in smart city, yes, they are losing more and more slowly the connection with the divine and replace it with all this artificial science and artificial injections and all this stuff. And I think at some point they will worship the human-made God more than the divine creator who, yeah, who is the source of everything. I see it happening actually.
Of course, AI has no power of replacing actually the divine. I mean, that's the ultimate.
Yeah,
But
but
in terms of
people who are so trapped in this sphere, in this mindset, for them, yes, it will replace it. But this is not the reality of what things are.
yeah.
Consciousness or the creator or God have already won the battle, and then it's matter for us to tap into this new energy, into this new vibration, and really put our life in alignment with this energy, in alignment with the love, in alignment with the harmony with nature. So it's our journey to tap into that, and this is where we are creating a heaven for ourselves and opting out of the hell disguised as evolution.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's my rant for today.
Thank you.
Yeah, since we don't have any more questions, thank you for tuning in today. It was a very spontaneous one, so for
I
those
hope it wasn't too chaotic.
I think it was, but that's fine. Part of being human. And we'd love to see you in the online group session. Check the link below. If you have any question, also don't hesitate to reach out by Telegram or email, and we will answer you as soon as possible.
Yes, thank
Yeah.
you for tuning in.
Yeah, and we'll see you in the next video.
Yes.
Ciao, Earthlings. Okay, you need to entertain a little bit more
Oh,
so we can
okay. Aram just went to turn it off. Turn it off.
Okay. Goodbye. I think I need to. Oops.